Welcome to Speak for Yourself. Don't adjust your television sets. It's Marcellus Swally looking fresh, looking unique. And that's Emmanuel Acho looking like Joy Taylor. Did I just see that?
I guess we shopped at the same wardrobe closet, big dog.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't shop at Ross, so I don't know where you got that from.
Read the prompter.
What do you mean?
Read
Is that a tag that says I also wore this on September 20th? Damn, Acho, come on, get fresh. Let's start in Kansas City, where it wasn't fresh either. Where the Chiefs escaped with the win over the Giants last night. Had to take a shot. New York took the lead early in the fourth, but Patrick Mahomes led 2 field goal drives to tie the game, and later take the lead with just over a minute left. Kansas City's much maligned defense held an opponent under 20 points for only the second time this season. Claps. Acho, are you still worried about the Chiefs despite the win?
A little bit. Not a lot at all. The only reason I'm worried about the Chiefs is because everybody in the AFC is good. Okay. Right? The top 10 teams, rather, in the AFC. You got the likes of the Browns, the Chargers, you got your Bills, you got your Ravens, you got your Titans. Everybody in the AFC is good. But nobody's really great.
Okay.
And so what keeps me worrying about the Chiefs is the same thing that keeps me chill in regards to the Chiefs. Last year, year before last, it was the Chiefs and then everybody else. This year, it is everybody else. So as the Chiefs now sit here and hover amongst not mediocrity, but as the Chiefs sit here and hover amongst what is good, there's nobody still that's great that's really worrying me all that much. Everybody is above average. I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is somebody far ahead in the pack. When you watch the 10Ks, the 5Ks, New York marathons, whatever the case may be, I try to.
Stop lying.
I do.
You do not watch that.
I try to diversify my athletic portfolio.
Oh, you mean
you should try it.
As you flip the channel, you pause longer.
Pause long enough.
Okay.
You compete sometimes when everybody's in the pack.
Okay.
And when everybody's in the pack, you don't really have to worry about those in the back of the pack because at any point in time, it's so tight that whoever decides to make that move can instantly get to the front of the pack.
Yeah.
Chiefs are sitting at 4-4. Yeah, they done lost some games. They done won some games too. So why am I going to worry? Because they haven't been as dominant as they typically have? Nah, that's not going to give me no concern. Not as long as I'm looking around and, oh, wait a second.
Who?
Bills, y'all got some losses too. Oh, Bengals, y'all just lost to the Jets. Oh, Browns, y'all are 4-4 as well. Oh, Ravens, y'all just recently caught an L. Okay, Ravens, y'all just caught an L to the Bengals. Oh, okay, it's all good. Everybody out here catching these stray L's. So if I'm the Chiefs, I have no real reason to worry because it's everybody in the same boat right now, and that's average to above average.
Man. I'm worried about these boys. I've been worried for a while, but now I think other people are joining me. It's getting a little crunchy over here, a little squishy where I am in the worried section where I am. Trust me, and I know I'm the CEO of this company. Woo! And I have company. Other teams, other people out there are looking at the Chiefs differently than they used to. So you say a little bit, I'm more than that. I'm a lot bit. Okay. You know what I mean? A lot bit worried about these Chiefs. I don't know anybody, and I don't know if I should trust you right now, who starts off their analysis by saying, oh, I'm not worried about the Chiefs. There are other good teams out there like the Browns. The first thing you say are the Browns. The hell wrong with you? But you know what's wrong with you? I know what's wrong with you. You need to focus. You need to change your mentality. Let me tell you why. I literally heard Acho tell me he's not worried about the Chiefs because he was not worried about anybody else. Now, hold on. Before you worry about somebody else in life, Acho got a problem. Who should you worry about first?
Yourself.
Acho, let's worry about the Chiefs.
Yes, sir.
Let's forget who's sorry like us. Let's just say how sorry we are because last night was the way to get out of this rut. You got to win, but that's an outcome. Let's talk about performance. Oh, my God. No confidence from this performance. Let's talk about the Chiefs. Last night, yards per play was a season low. Failed to surpass 400 total yards in 3 of their last 4 games. But they surpassed it 3 times in their first 4 games. Is that trending in the right direction or the wrong direction? Oh, you're starting to get a lot bit worried? Let me talk. Let me continue. You look at the Chiefs last night, and I saw something that I didn't believe I would see. That Patrick Mahomes actually tried to play disciplined football. He had 13 passes at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage, the most in his career. And you know why I know that that's not going to be a reliable formula for this team? 2 reasons. 1, you went into a dogfight with the New York Giants at home. That's not how you draw it up if you're Andy Reid. And 2, you think Patrick Mahomes is going to be disciplined and this is going to be the result? that I'm going to perform like this and this team's going to perform like this, oh, he going to go back to his old ways. You ever have a homie that you're like, dog, why don't you just study for the test? Just study. He's like, man, all right, I'm going to study. Why? I'm going to study. He like, man, I got a D. I was like, it's better than the F you got last week, right? But it's still a D. He ain't feeling that, right? Patrick Mahomes, he failed last week. That was his worst performance in regular season history. This week, not that much better, even though they get the W. They are conflicted. They like the outcome. They hate the performance. And more importantly, it doesn't exude any confidence.
They're not conflicted, Marcellus Wiley.
Yes,
Columbia man, you should know a lot, but I will ask you this. Murphy's Law, sir, can you state it for me?
What did Eddie Murphy say? Eddie.
It is not Eddie Murphy's
Oh,
Law.
I know. What is this? Things can go wrong.
But Edward J. Murphy's Law says anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah.
That's the issue with the Chiefs right now.
Let me hear.
The Chiefs right now are currently operating under Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. But unlike the law of gravity, Murphy's Law will come to an end at some point in time.
That's facts.
The interception that Patrick Mahomes threw yesterday went off a dude's helmet. In years past, it would have landed in Travis Kelce's arms. He would have been dug in the end zone. It would have been all good. This year, interception is how it ends up. You've seen time and time again this season that things that usually have gone right for the Chiefs have gone wrong for the Chiefs.
Oh, really?
That's not going to cause me to worry. What? Your next strikeout only brings you that much closer to your next home run. Patrick Mahomes has had some very unfortunate circumstances this season. Some of which he's caused, some of which has been coincidental. Some of which have been intentional, some of which have been incidental. But as I look at it, I'm not going to sit here and worry, Sal. The Chargers, they look like they struggling, don't they? The Browns, we know they struggling, don't they? The Raiders, they've had on-the-field issues, off-the-field issues. They look like they about to start struggling, don't they? So how are you going to worry if you're looking around and it's raining for everybody else? It's not just raining on top of the Chiefs. It's raining for all these other franchises as well. So don't just look at yourself, but assess what else is going on in the AFC. And once you assess what else is going on in the AFC, you'll remove the worry.
Stop playing, man. How do you think the Chiefs are feeling right now, being real? Did you see that post-game interview from Patrick Mahomes? He tried to keep that poker face up because he's a $500 million player and he got sponsors galore. But even him in that moment didn't want to go back to that damn shoe store and be Patrick Mahomes because, God, dog, Patrick Mahomes tried to keep up the face and realize this ain't it. And worse, how do we figure what it is out? They can't figure it out. You try to tell me they're living under Murphy's Law. You lie. They threw an interception last night in the fourth quarter, last drive, and they got called back. And it was an offsides that favored them. That ain't Murphy's Law.
He knew it was offsides. That's why he knew it. He saw the dude offsides. Said, I'm going to take a shot.
Yeah, take a shot and hit your guy first. And he threw it right to my homeboy, little homie Darnay Holmes from L.A. What up, boy? Okay. That's a problem. That's not Murphy's Law. Here's another problem since we talk about self-esteem. I guess I chose self-esteem is dictated by what Marcellus feels, right? Because it's based on what the Chiefs feel. It's based on what the Bills are doing and what the other AFC teams are doing. It's supposed to be what you're doing or what you're not doing. Chiefs have failed to score more than 20 points in 3 of their last 4 games. The Chiefs have failed to score more than 20 in 75% of their recent games. What the hell is going on? Have they won back-to-back games this year yet? Anybody? Anybody? Nope, they have not. Let's talk about this. I'm going to just keep poking holes in yours. My arguments are so strong, I'm going to just go over in yours. Acho, you tell me that since other teams are out there not perfect, then why should the Chiefs worry right now? You know, there's only been 2 seasons in the regular season where teams are perfect. So according to Acho, your theory, no team should ever worry outside of those 2 seasons because everyone's imperfect. Are you kidding me? You got to look at more than the outcome. You got to look at the performance. Be real. When you see that the Chiefs have allowed 27 or more points in 6 of their 8 games, and then they fail to score more than 20 points in 3 of their last 4, you start doing some simple logical math like, dog, they can't score and they can't stop anybody. And that's the formula for not success, disaster.
It's not about perfection, Sal. It's about are you in striking distance?
Are they?
Yes. The Raiders got a 1.5 lead over the Chiefs. The Chiefs play the Raiders twice the rest of the season. The Chargers got a game on the Chiefs. The Chiefs still play the Chargers once. Chiefs going to play the Packers. Chiefs going to play the Cowboys. Chiefs going to play some really good teams, the Raiders, in the next 3 weeks. You can look at that as a threat. or you can look at that as opportunity. I remember it was my sophomore year at the University of Texas.
Yeah.
And we're playing Oklahoma. Oklahoma had Heisman winner Sam Bradford. They had NFL rushing leader to be DeMarco Murray. They had future first-round pick Jermaine Gresham. They had some dogs. I'm a true sophomore.
Okay.
I'm sitting here nervous. I'm like, uh-oh. We got to go play them boys. They some dogs. My homeboy, Keenan Robinson, gets drafted by the New York Giants, Washington team, actually, years later. Keenan's like, big dog, this is where we make our money. Like, what you
Y'all got paid in Texas for real, huh?
Nah, he was like, what you nervous for? If you ball against OU, this is what increases your draft status.
Oh, now
so
draft
what
status.
I looked at as a threat, he looked at the exact same thing as an opportunity.
Scared.
So, no doubt about it. That's where you at right now with these Chiefs.
No, that's where you at right now.
I'm not looking at the Chiefs with any certain of worry. Why would I be worried? Y'all still get to play the Raiders twice. They're the 2 seed right now. If you beat the Raiders twice, all of a sudden, y'all jump into the lead in the division. Why would I be worried about the Chiefs? Y'all still get to play the Chargers right now. You beat the Chargers, all of a sudden, y'all are right in a prime position. Why do I be worried about the Chiefs right now when everybody is in striking distance? I'm a worry when they get out of reach. I'm a worry when it gets too far ahead of me. But for now, I look at the Chiefs and I'm like, y'all have the prime opportunity to make a run, which I anticipate y'all will make. Other teams are just as worried about the Chiefs.
Who worried about? Oh, the Giants were worried about the Chiefs. Giants should have won that game last night.
Caught that up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they've caught 4 L's as well. And more importantly, some of the W's that the Chiefs have, they don't even believe in them. They don't even have the confidence to want to go out there and replicate that same performance to get another W. That's the worst part about this. We got to go beyond the top layer. Yeah, you got a W. How many times you got cursed out after a win? It's happened. You know why? Coach, like, we do that again, we guaranteed to lose. Andy Reid doesn't yell like that. But Andy Reid going to get that point across. He's going to be like, dog, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep turning the ball over. We can't keep going out there and stopping ourselves. It's interesting. You keep talking about this record with the Chiefs, and I keep looking at the Chiefs in their division. How they looking in their division, Acho? They have played the Chargers. How did that go? Okay. So now you're 2 back from the Raiders in terms of overall standings. But then when you look at your division, I'm looking, anybody see a win for the Chiefs in their division? No. So now coach is talking to you, as you know, through the split tongue. He's saying, look, overall record matters, but also, what are we doing in our division?
Played 1 division game, so.
Huh?
They played 1 division.
Yeah. You got to get a W. You talking about W's?
0-1.
0-1, right. And not behind the first place team. That's even worse. Because now the Chargers could be in a prime position to win the head-to-head or leapfrog them or keep their lead on them. That's all bad. You know how it goes. Here's the thing that I'm really disturbed by with the Chiefs. That this was actually anticipated to some degree, but they were so drunk on their success, they didn't go back to the lab and change their formula. We're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes a little bit later in the show. I don't even want to give away the question. It's so damn good. But the point being, if you look at this Chiefs team, they've had issues defensively for 2-3 years, right? Opportunistic at times, played average at times, but mostly we've been saying, yo, fix the defense. It's not fixed. You're looking at Patrick Mahomes, it's hard to say anything negative about him except not the most disciplined player. And now you're starting to see time and time again the lack of that discipline. Last night, he finally tries to play discipline, tighten up his martial arts belt. And you know what happened? They damn near get a victory against the New York Giants at Arrowhead Stadium. If you keep rolling this Chiefs team out here, you ain't got to worry about what you're doing in the division. You ain't got to worry about your overall record. Got to worry about what you're going to be doing in January. Coming to visit us. Coming up, the Chiefs got the win last night, but Patrick Mahomes extended his, you hear this, Acho? Extended his interception streak to a career worst 7 games. We'll tell you if the league has figured Mahomes out. But first, the Cowboys got the win and Dak Prescott got more rest. We'll tell you how Dallas should handle Dak's injury this week. Next, on Speak for Yourself.
Dak Prescott to be a full go for Thursday's practice, and that's Patrick Mahomes getting sacked. Now, McCarthy said he's been bringing Dak along slowly since he sustained his calf injury against the Patriots in Dallas. Dallas has won 6 straight, hosts the Broncos on Sunday. Joined now by Fox NFL analyst, my guy, Sanchez.
I gotta be your guy.
Sanchez must have been the guy who switched up the video right there. I was looking at Patrick Mahomes highlights and now Dak Prescott.
Did he throw a pick in the highlights?
Shut up, Marcellus Wiley. Sanchez, it's good to see you. Unfortunately, I have to talk to him first. How should the Cowboys handle Dak Prescott this week, Sal?
I shouldn't answer your question. Now what? Oh, man, how do you handle Dak Prescott? Obviously with caution. You know the rap group Caution? Mark Sanchez, L.A.
One of my all-time favorites.
Yeah. No, you got that coined. I'm going to steal that from you, Sanchez. Yeah, all-time favorite. Anyway, because you keep catching me with that. I got to learn, not you. I'm not trying to play him. Let's just be real about this situation. Normally in football, you're playing until you can't. You know how it is in our tough culture. Hey, coach, how you doing? He's like, yeah, get in. And you're like, oh, coach, this is falling off. Oh, yeah, third down. And you're like, get in. Normally, you're playing till you can't. We're flipping our mindset with Dak Prescott in terms of this injury. Now, you're not playing until you can. And I know when you can. Let's break down what a calf injury really looks like to the layman. When you're tired, you can recover from that. When you're fatigued, you need time off to recover from that. When you get a calf cramp, I remember doctor after doctor telling me, that's your check engine light from your body, saying basically you're fatigued. When you get cramps anywhere in your body, usually it starts where? The calf. You're out there on the field, you're like, damn, my calf cramp. And they're like, you better shut this thing down because you know what's going to happen. Something else is going to give. I don't want something else to give when it comes to Dak Prescott. We got a little window right here. We're 3 games up in the division. We got a little space, some home games coming up against some subpar teams, whatever you want to call them. Point being, Dallas Cowboys. We are not playing Dak Prescott until we can.
I don't know if it was you, Sanchez, or Coach Moore I was spending time with who told me that when you want to pull your quarterback out in a game where you're ahead, you always pull him out the series before you need to. I don't know if that was a Sanchez quote, a Coach Moore quote, but it was something that stuck with me.
Coach quote. That's a coach quote.
You always pull your quarterback out. Right. You always pull him out a series early. Yeah. When I think about this with the Dallas Cowboys, I would play Dak Prescott a game later. Right?
Yes.
If you pull the quarterback out a series before you want to, then with Dak Prescott, play him a game after you think you need to. If you think you can play Dak Prescott this week, play him the next week. If you thought you could have played him last week, which you couldn't have, play him this week. But what it comes down to is play Dak Prescott a week after you think you can play him, because why run the risk? Now, Cooper Rush maybe caught lightning in a bottle. He might not be a 300-yard-a-game passer. I'm not saying that he is. But I know this. The Broncos are trying to lose, y'all. Y'all think I'm lying? How? They're trying to trade Kyle Fuller, 2018 All-Pro, 2019 Pro Bowler. They just traded Von Miller, 110 career sack guy, 4.5 sacks on the season. You got a head coach in Vic Fangio, who I'm not sure they're all in on. But what I know is this. The Broncos are trying to mortgage their players for future picks. So the Broncos aren't even actually in a win-now mode. So Cowboys, y'all playing against the team that's trying to lose, you ain't got to go out here and play that much harder to try and win. As I look at it, Sanchez, I would go ahead and sit Dak Prescott for one more week after you think you should play him.
I understand. I'm scared of the tortoise and the hare thing. Like, you slow down a little bit, you hit the brakes just a little bit. I know you got this healthy lead, but it looked like he could have played last week. I know what you're talking about, Cooper Rush. The one thing I will say about Cooper, I was impressed with his ability to see it, recognize a mistake that he made in cover 4, that interception, that backside safety robbed him on the 3-by-1, and then come right back when they tried to show him split safety again and just throw a dime down the middle, gash the defense. I mean, you're like, all right, Coop can do it. When you're seeing it like that, when you're recognizing it like that, I recognize that it's okay. You're thinking, all right, let's relax on Dak. But you can't leave him out too long, man. He's their juice. He's their moxie. He's their special sauce, dude. He's got to be in there. He's got to get back to playing and back to his MVP ways. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's had plenty. He had the bye week already.
Yeah, but the question, Sanchez, I feel like Cowboys fans got to ask themselves. Jerry has to ask himself. McCarthy has to ask himself. Is the increased chance of injury worth the increased chance of winning? Answer that question. You'll answer the question regarding Dak Prescott. Is the increased chance of Dak Prescott getting hurt worth the increased chance of Dak Prescott helping us win the game? Cowboys, y'all already likely going to win the game. So why increase the chance of Dak getting hurt? That's where I'm torn. It's like, if y'all were playing, if the Cowboys were playing the Packers or the Cardinals or the Rams, an NFC game.
That's a good point, that it is an AFC game.
y'all having fun over there. Go ahead.
If they were playing a legitimate NFC matchup that really mattered versus a big team, go ahead and roll them out there. But actually, I err on the side of you, Sal. Like, what's the point?
Boy, you flip-flop I mean, segment to segment. I love it, too, because I'm the only one that's really recording this. Unless you're at home with a DVR, you ain't catching this.
What'd I say?
They're playing the Broncos. They should beat the Broncos, right?
Of course.
Yeah, because the Broncos not trying to win right now.
No, sir.
Yeah, kind of sorry, right? Let's be real. Same record as the Chiefs. Last segment. See? You don't like that. You don't like that, little man. You don't like that. That's what I'm dealing with right here. Tried to. Woo! And you just answered the question, like the chances of winning versus the chances of further injury. We know the answer to that. We can win without you in this game. We at least should win. And the next one, we got the Falcons, both at home, with the 3-game lead in our division. Cowboys are 5-3 in their last 8 games without Dak Prescott. And 2 of those losses were to playoff teams last year. That means they're actually playing very well without Dak Prescott of late. So now you say, what should we do? We don't want to keep him out too long because, like you said, he's our mojo. He's the one that makes this work. And then we don't want this rest to turn into rust. And then Dak Prescott comes back. But damn it, he almost missed a year, y'all, and came back better than ever. I just don't, imagine this moment. And I'm not going to go as far as Kevin Durant and make it an Achilles. But just the severity. Hey, what if you go out there and anything happens to Dak, lower extremities, based on him just playing? Even if it's a collision injury, how would you feel in that moment? And it's against the Broncos. Stop it, man.
Yeah, you'd feel real bad.
Well, the thing is,
I mean, you guys can turn me. That's fine. But you sit him.
You say, whoa,
sit him for 2 weeks.
You say, whoa, but I genuinely think it's like this.
What?
If the Cowboys play Dak Prescott, it's either out of ignorance or arrogance. One of the two. It's either out of the ignorance of, man, he not going to get hurt. He's Superman. Dak Prescott, he had an ankle injury, but he came back better than ever. Nobody's as tough as Dak Prescott. Toughest player in the league. Ignorance. Or the arrogance of, oh, sure, we the Dallas Cowboys. We just going to go out there and do what we want. We don't have to go out here and worry about our quarterback. I just think if the Cowboys play Dak, it's for one of two reasons. Ignorance of further injury, arrogance of being America's team, and not realizing, hey, big dog, y'all don't have to win today. Win the whole thing.
I get it. All I'm saying is going into last week, I thought it was lose-lose. You're going to put Dak in and he's going to get hurt. Or you're going to play Cooper Rush and you're going to lose.
Yeah.
And they flipped it on me. I was like, whoa, I did not expect the outcome that happened. Now, are you going to play that? Are you going to roll the dice again? Are you going to gamble again on getting that win and getting that division lead and being the number 1 seed?
How much rust from a quarterback, because Marcellus brought up a good point, how much rust are you actually dealing with? Like, if you're Dak Prescott, are you dealing with any real rust?
Somebody like him, no, he's fine. He's seeing it great. He's playing at an MVP level, save for Kyler Murray, right? If we weren't talking about Kyler Murray, we'd be talking about Dak for MVP. So he's going to be fine that way. I'm not worried about him like not knowing the reads or something like that. He's a legit vet now. He's got it. But I just feel like rolling the dice one more time, I don't know.
See, it's not a real roll of the dice if you're Mike McCarthy. One, you get to see Cooper Rush in practice every day, so you know what he can do and can't do.
No, he's capable.
And he's capable, right? So you have more trust in him than just a roll of the dice. But it is a roll of the dice when it comes to Dak and his health and saying, hey, you can play in this moment. Let's talk about due diligence, one of those smart phrases and terms that people throw around. What the hell does due diligence mean? Like, what do you mean? Check every box, make sure that every example, I'm thinking through it before it actually occurs. Whatever it is, with Dak Prescott, you can't do all of your due diligence for an injury like this because it's already strained. So if you go out there and say, well, we did all our due diligence, you can't make it worse. We heard that before, right, Kevin Durant? You can't make it worse. Yes, you can. Actually, something else can collapse. You're right. The calf is fine. The Achilles is gone. But you know what? We ain't make it worse. The calf is fine. Or you go out there and you're saying, okay, Dak Prescott, you tested it in practice. You're ready to go. But it's in your mind that why are we rolling the dice right now when we know we have a quest for a Super Bowl? And even if we lose this game, nothing changes in our fortune.
When it comes down to it, what do the Cowboys have to gain? You ain't got nothing to gain.
I mean, they're in a race with Green Bay and Tampa for that number 1 seed.
Which is a big deal.
That's
like that is a huge.
Only one team gets the bye in the playoffs now. Like, it's a little different. It's not 1 and 2 anymore.
And you've called several NFC games, so you realize the disparity between the Rams, the Cardinals, the Cowboys.
I mean, it's tight now. We're splitting hairs there. There's some good ball clubs, and you want that 1 seed.
No, that is a big deal, but I'm just wondering, like, is getting the 1 seed worth Dak Prescott potentially missing another
Yeah, if he misses
another
4
3
weeks, you
another,
ain't
you ain't getting
sniffing
no
that
way.
one seed.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
won't
think.
get the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Versus missing 1 week. Come on, Cooper Rush, you did it before. Don't be in such a rush. You know what? Stay your butt out there 1 more week, and let's see how this all plays out.
All right, fine.
Coming up, the Chiefs. We flipped them. Coming up, the Chiefs beat the Giants last night. I mean, barely, but didn't look like their Super Bowl selves. We'll tell you if the league has caught up to Patrick Mahomes. Next on Speak for Yourself. Now that's spicy.
The Chiefs' streak of three straight AFC Championship games appears to be in jeopardy despite Kansas City's win over the Giants last night. Now Patrick Mahomes has a streak of his own. Not a good one. 7 straight games with at least 1 interception and leads the NFL with 12 giveaways. Quarterback extraordinaire Mark Sanchez back with us. Marcellus Wiley with us.
In the building. In the building.
Has the NFL finally figured out Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
Take the smile off.
Yes,
Calm
they
down.
have.
Calm down.
Now, it doesn't sound as bad as you guys are reacting. Figured out. You guys played the game of football. Y'all know what figured out means. I'm going to say it. It's still bad, but it doesn't sound as bad as, oh, my God, we've uncracked the code on Patrick Mahomes. Let me tell you what figured out means.
Please.
Okay. It means, what do you like to do the least? Okay, we figured that out. Now we're going to make you do that the most. That's what figured out means.
Okay.
Everyone in the NBA, let's just go off football right now, because obviously you couldn't see the forest from the trees. Y'all was like, what? In the NBA, I've been blessed and famous enough, I guess, to go into some locker rooms before the game. That's sacred territory. Post-game, everybody go in, including your mama. Me, pre-game. And I walked in. I was like, what do they do to set the tone for a game versus what we do in the NFL? You know what they do? They have a whiteboard. And on that whiteboard, they can have Chris Paul up there. It's the Lakers versus Phoenix Suns, and you see Chris Paul's name. And they have his 3 worst field goal percentages on the court, right? Visually. And they say, put them in those spots. That's all we got to do. That's how we figure Chris Paul out. Now, by force in football, we're going to try to make you go to those spots. When it comes to Patrick Mahomes, they figured him out. And I'm going to tell you when they figured him out as well. For Patrick Mahomes, it's as simple as this. Let's have 2 high, deep safeties, and let's see if he's going to methodically and stay disciplined enough to continue to move these chains to pay dirt. Patrick Mahomes, something you don't like to do, and they trying to make you do it the most. That's what figured out means. See, I ain't a hot takey kind of guy. Now, when did this happen? Anybody knows? I know. Full screen time. It's time to talk about cracking the code. Patrick Mahomes, I hope you watch it right now and not over there doing that damn TikTok with your brother. Crack the code right here. Patrick Mahomes, points per game. October 11th, it was streaking. 32. And then what? It dropped since then. This is a year ago, y'all. Point differential per game, red zone touchdown, turnover differential, all that. Take that away. Please. That was against the Raiders. Do you guys remember that game? I remember that game. It was a 32-40 loss by the Kansas City Chiefs. When the Kansas City Chiefs were scoring 32 points, we all just mailed it in. They won, right? They went through a slugfest. A shootout. And they lost. You want to know how they lost? It's as simple as this. Raiders went out there, 3-man defensive front. A spy dropped 7 in coverage. Go ahead, Pat. Be disciplined, Pat. Do something that you're not used to doing and that's not in your DNA, Pat. There's a reason why someone with that arm talent, as great as he is, wasn't the number 1 overall pick and never thought of it as that way. You know why?
Played at Tech.
Boy, stop. That ain't the reason.
That is the reason.
Baker Mayfield started at Tech, walked on, and still got number 1 overall point. Here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes was never disciplined. They knew it. Like, if you look at him in the deep metrics there, you look at the win-loss record there, and you see it right now. Patrick Mahomes is now being asked by the NFL, the thing that he likes the least, to do the most. He's been figured out.
What do I like the least is that take. I like nothing less than that take. Sanchez, let me tell you one thing I hate. And I've learned that I hate it now sitting next to Marcellus Wiley.
Compliment.
I hate journalistic jargon. Journalistic jargon. That defense is soft. They are front runners. A player got figured out. Because what's that mean? I haven't met many soft NFL defensive players. Now, you might not be in your gaps, and so you give up a lot of rushing yards, and some journalist from his keyboard will go out and say, this defense is so soft. They not soft. They don't have gap integrity. They don't have gap discipline. This team is front runners. Because you blow up a lead. They're not front runners. The coach's play calling starts to change once they get in front. Somebody is figured Patrick Mahomes out. They ain't figured him out. He just in a rough stretch. Now, Sanchez, I'm trying to distance myself from this take. So can we go to the big board?
Oh, y'all gonna leave me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, leave me in the hood.
I don't like none of this.
Slip, please.
Here we go. I'm going to take my boy to the big board.
Yeah, y'all better go.
Have to come back.
Yeah.
You will.
I'll be right here waiting.
Hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're not.
What is this?
Okay, so I got a question, Big Dog.
Yeah.
Because we brought up this whole has Patrick Mahomes been figured out thing because he's been throwing a lot of interceptions. I never played quarterback. Never thrown an interception a day in my life. Sanchez didn't throw very many.
I threw a couple.
Just a couple. So I just want to look at the interceptions that Patrick Mahomes has thrown in the last 3 games with my dog, Mark Sanchez. And somebody tell me if this was because they figured Patrick Mahomes out.
There's going to be a long highlight then.
We wrote a tape.
All these picks.
This was yesterday versus the Giants, Marcellus Wiley. Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback. He's scanning, he's scanning, he's scanning, he's scanning. Mark Sanchez, was this interception a result of being figured out?
He missed. He threw a heater into traffic. I mean, he gave one away.
Gave it away. Really didn't have much to do with being.
They didn't
figure him out. Hey, can we look at the next?
And I'm leading the witness.
The game before that. Can we look at the game before that, please?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes versus the Tennessee Titans. Marcellus Wiley. Mahomes scrambling left, throws against his body. Now, Mark Sanchez, does this interception have to do with Patrick Mahomes being figured out?
No, he forced it into a tight window on 1st and 10.
Forced it into a tight one on 1st and 10. Can we look at the next play? Can we look at his third last 3 games?
All these pauses.
I'm just sitting here talking to my quarterback.
Commercial break.
I'm sitting here talking about. So this was supposed to be a run play. Patrick Mahomes, he freaks the heck out. He's trying to get rid of it. It's 3rd and 1. He's just trying to make a play for his team. Mark Sanchez on a play that was supposed to be a run that he drops the snap and he just throws it, just trying to make a play for his team. Does this have to do with Patrick Mahomes being figured out?
No, he's giving it away. Just tried to press a little bit too much. Try to make chicken salad out of chicken crap.
And you can't do that. Not at my restaurant. So as I look at it with a quarterback extraordinaire, Marcellus Wiley, he ain't been figured out.
Oh,
he
really?
Made a couple. Won't have mistakes.
Slump. He's in a little slump. Hitters go through slumps. Shooters go through slumps.
Okay. Can y'all please come back over here, or y'all got some more?
Do you want to go back?
Yeah, y'all know I'm waiting. Welcome. We've been expecting you.
We have to, man.
Come back up here. Oh, let me break down that film with you since you didn't invite me over there.
Hang in there,
I don't know what that's about, but we're going to figure that out later. My lawyer will call your lawyer, get this done in HR. I'm invited everywhere in this building. Damn it, Acho. Oh, the first video franchise. Now you're here in neutral site, right? You know, because he was leading you over there. He was like, right, Sanchez, right? And you were like, yeah, chicken salad.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about this. The first video, off timing and threw into traffic. That's that. Here's the second one, scrambled out of the pocket and then threw it again across his body. Third one, just took the sack. Okay, this is the problem with,
but that's not figured out. I won't give you all bad decisions.
Yes. Lack of discipline. He was an undisciplined quarterback at Texas Tech. It's in his DNA to risk it and go out there and roll the dice. No problem. And that was not figured out when everyone tried to play man-to-man. You're sitting there, got to respect sometimes the running game. Sometimes you're just not knowing the talent level and depth of it. So what teams used to do is go man-to-man against him. Now, they're like, look, we're not even going to blitz you. He's the least blitzed quarterback for this reason. Oh, we're going to keep everybody back and cloud his vision. See, you heard it, yeah. Cloud his vision, crowd the field. And then we just gonna make him have to rely not on this beautiful thing he got in that throwing arm in motion, but up here, that processor. You know why I bring up processor? Because a guy like Patrick Mahomes sacked 2 times last night. He's been sacked 6 times in the last 2 games, 11 times over the last 4 games. What's the best offensive lineman in the NFL? A decisive quarterback. His processor. 2 of those 3 plays you try to show to support him, you see him go like this. I'm bailing. That's not a disciplined quarterback. Please, Sanchez, tell him what's going on with this dude.
He's in a slump. He's trying too hard. He's pressing. I understand the idea. And if that's the way the defenses are going to play, then he's got to adjust his game. And it's going to be a methodical 10 to 15 play drive, multiple 3rd down conversions as you work your way down the field. And make him look more pedestrian. Make him make average plays.
Thank you.
And don't get beat on the splash plays because we'll take a death of 1,000 paper cuts, right? Like, that's how we're going to lose if we're going to lose and make them earn it. That's all. He'll figure that out. He'll get through this
he'll
month.
figure it out because they already figured it out. It's a game of adjustments, correct?
Everybody gets through that.
Yes.
I mean, he'll bounce right back.
Everyone doesn't get through that. Let's not lie to you.
I shouldn't say everybody.
About to say, nobody will retire.
Are you saying then that Patrick Mahomes has been figured out to the point of his stats are changing because defensive have him? I don't think Patrick Mahomes has been figured out.
Well,
I think defensively, the Chiefs have been figured out. Defensively, the Chiefs have been exposed. I think defensively, Daniel Sorensen has been exposed, and thus the Chiefs are now playing further from behind, and no team is scared of the Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes is pressing. I think
they've
that's
lost that aura a little bit. They're not as scary anymore. It doesn't feel like a fast break and you're just like suffocated by this explosive offense anymore. It just feels a little different because teams are just sitting back, like you said. They're saying, all right, do it. Go ahead, beat us underneath. Beat us all day long underneath and make them look average. That's all they're trying to do.
Y'all taking away the thunder of this show because I'm with former players and y'all sounding like journalists like you don't like jargon. Oh, he's going to figure. This is what it is. It's always human chess. When you go into the league with your best move, I got a deadly rip move. They can't stop it. And then guess what? Somebody finally stops that rip move. And then they start to set you differently so your rip move won't work. And now you got to come up with a counter. And then they stop your rip and they're working on your counter. Then you got to come up with a swim. And if you don't keep going back to the drawing board and figuring out what they figured out, that's when you become static. That's when you plateau. That's when you start to regress. Let's be real about this. Patrick Mahomes suffers from what a lot of people like Patrick Mahomes suffers from. He's the curse of the gifted. The curse of the gifted is you're so damn good that you kind of skip a step. Why do you skip a step? I can throw it this way. Why you skip a step? Because I can throw it this way. And then finally someone says, I'm not going to let you throw it that way. You got to throw it methodically right down the middle, and he's not able to do that. We forget that there are defensive coordinators and defensive players big time paid to just figure out what can't he do as well. Be real about this. Patrick Mahomes is on full alert right now. He hears the noise. Man, I'm slumping right now. On full alert, he goes out there last night, second worst completion percentage. Mind you, don't you do that. Mind you, he had the most passes at the line of scrimmage or behind in his career. Make that make sense. You got a 60.4 completion percentage throwing the ball sideways or backwards. I got another one for you. He failed to reach over 300 passing yards. I do homework, homeboy. I'm sorry. Columbia over here. He has failed to reach 300 passing yards or more in 5 of his last 6 games. Slumping? I'll take you back to October. I'll take you back to the beginning of this year. It's too much material, bro. It's okay. Let's see if he can figure out what they figured out.
He's in a turnover slump.
Here's the thing.
Drop that mic, Marcellus.
What Patrick Mahomes does well, he's doing just as well. The only difference is he's now doing things badly. Like Patrick Mahomes has 66% completion percentage this year. His career average, 66%. Patrick Mahomes, he's on pace to throw 38 touchdown passes this year. Last year, he threw 38. He's on pace to throw 38 through a 16-game season. I'm not even adding the extra game. The only difference this year is now he's still doing the good. Now he's just doing more bad. So I'm not saying he's been figured out, because to be figured out is he wouldn't be doing the good as good, and he would be doing the bad worse. But his completion percentage, higher than it was last year, higher than it was the year before, higher than it was his MVP season. He's on pace to throw 38 touchdown passes. On average, Mahomes averages 33 touchdown passes in a season. So he's doing that just as good, if not better than he does. The only thing that he's doing bad is now he's throwing picks. So all the good is still there. It's just some bad there, too.
No, those numbers are skewed. One, you're factoring in injury seasons where he still got to that number. So that means fewer opportunities, but he still got to that number. This year,
but I'm not.
I know, sure.
But here's what I'm saying. If we're not going to act as though, wait a second, Patrick Mahomes has more interceptions because he's throwing more passes, he leads the league in passes attempted, then I'm not also going to detract what he does good by passing the ball a lot.
Hold on, big dog. You know why his interceptions are trending? Because they figured out how to make him throw interceptions. I hate this when people, like you talking to somebody, no one wakes out the bed, puts on those Bose headphones, throw on their favorite little playlist they got, and then say, yo, today I'ma suck. Today I ain't gonna do it. You know what happens? You meet forces that are against you.
Helmet.
And guess what? all the interceptions weren't off the helmets. Like, that's the thing. You can keep making these excuses, but there's a force against you. And it's not just physical. People are thinking through this as well. Just play safe, play deep, make them throw it in front of you. And yeah, he'll do it here and there. And then finally, he's just like, it's in me, bro. I gotta hit pay dirt. And that's the problem. Here's my last point about this. Oh my God, I think I won one. I finally got one right. No? Anybody? Okay. When you look at Patrick Mahomes, all this can be fixed. All this can be fixed. I was blessed, I don't know about you guys, to play with 6 Hall of Famers. So me not being a Hall of Famer and me seeking to be a Hall of Famer made me say, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Because you can stand in the line of talent like anybody else, like, yo, I'm better than him. Like, there are some guys in the Hall of Fame you may be more talented than, right? Faster, bigger, stronger, whatever it may be. But there's a human chess match that they played. I saw Bruce Smith play it. I saw him play it against other teams where they were like, yo, we're going to shift our line and we're going to go out there and force him to do the thing he doesn't like to do, which is run all the way around to the quarterback. He likes to take the beeline. And that's what's happening. Doug Flutie, who wasn't a Hall of Famer, but had a tremendous year, 2 years in there. Bill Belichick saw Doug Flutie coming, and now you can see this game plan being replicated everywhere. Doug Flutie, shorter quarterback. Doug Flutie was running around doing Patrick Mahomes, yeah. And finally, Bill Belichick said, no, you know what I'm going to do? Race my defensive ends, flag them right there behind the pocket, and then make him stay in there. You know what Doug Flutie couldn't do? First thing he did, pick, incomplete. And then it was figured out. Then it was like, what are you going to do, Flutie? Because you got to stay in there to go figure us out. Never could really do that. Patrick Mahomes is going to figure this out, hopefully. But right now, you got to say it. They got advantage. Check. Maybe checkmate. Coming up, damn, I'm good. Odell Beckham Jr. only had 1 catch on Sunday, and Odell Beckham Sr. has something to say about it. Uh-oh, Papa, what you talking about? We'll tell you if we think Pop's comment is fair or foul. Next on Speak for Yourself. Sunday night, the Astros came back from a 4-run deficit to force a Game 6, and now head back to Minute Maid Park in Houston, where the Astros are 5-2 at home this postseason. Meanwhile, the Braves just need one more win to clinch their first World Series title in over 25 years.
Game 6 of the World Series from H-Town tonight, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
All right, let's get back to the NFL. Mike 51. And the trade deadline is minutes away, and folks are trying their hardest to get Odell Beckham Jr. out of Cleveland. Reportedly, the Browns had no plans to trade the former star receiver, but Odell's father didn't shy away from voicing his frustration. Odell Sr. reposted a YouTube video of plays where Baker Mayfield didn't throw to his son or threw a bad ball when targeting Odell. So, Acho, is Odell Sr. doing this fair or foul?
To me, Sel, it's foul. It's foul. And I can't imagine what it must feel like to be Baker Mayfield right now, always getting accused of things that you ain't do.
Oh.
Because once again, you all have the wrong guy. It's not on Baker Mayfield. It's on Kevin Stefanski, and I will show y'all exactly why with the Kevin Stefanski effect. Before Kevin Stefanski was the OC of the Minnesota Vikings, Adam Thielen averaged 7 catches a game, 7.1. Stephon Diggs averaged 6.8 catches a game. Once Kevin Stefanski became OC, Adam Thielen, he only averaged 3 catches a game. Diggs only averaged 4 catches a game. Thielen's percent of catches dropped by 57%. Diggs dropped by 38%. Y'all remember, Odell had 1,000 yards in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield as his quarterback. But then Kevin Stefanski comes over, and since then, Odell Beckham's catches go from 4.6 a game to 3.1 a game, dropping by 32%. Just look at the far right column. When Kevin Stefanski takes over, the team gets better, but the star receivers, their catches per game drop by 57%, 38%, and 32%. Y'all have the wrong guy. It's not Baker Mayfield who is the primary person at fault for Odell Beckham's lack of production. It is Kevin Stefanski. That's historically been the case with all Pro Bowl or all pro receivers that Kevin Stefanski has coached. Stephon Diggs left Minnesota, in part because of Kirk Cousins, also in part because of the lack of production there. Kevin Stefanski was the OC in Minnesota. And all of a sudden, he goes to Buffalo, and you saw Buffalo. You watch your Bills very well. 1,600 yards, most reception yards Stephon Diggs had in his career. All-pro, first team, if I'm not mistaken. Same Stephon Diggs. Same big arm quarterback. Josh Allen, probably a bigger arm than Kirk Cousins, but make no mistake, if one thing Kirk Cousins does do well is sling that pill, particularly off play-action boots.
Let's go.
Adam Thielen, 7 catches a game. Kevin Stefanski becomes OC. 3 catches a game. This Adam Thielen, one of the best, if not the best route runners in the game, maybe second to Devontae Adams. So we've seen this story before. We just got to stop blaming Baker Mayfield for any time a problem arises in Cleveland. Odell Beckham not getting any catches. It's Baker's fault. Browns lose to the Steelers. It's Baker's fault. Browns only scored 10 points on offense. It's Baker's fault. Everything is not Baker Mayfield's fault in Cleveland and with the Browns. Sometimes other people are at fault. And in this case, it's Kevin Stefanski for Odell. Now, I'm not saying that the Browns are not better because of it. Like, the Browns are a better football team playing the game of football the way they're playing it. But it's got to be Kevin Stefanski's fault because we look at the history of it all.
Oh, man. Here's the thing. Let me answer the question first before I start to get tug-of-war-ish with you and your response, which was well stated. This is fair. This is not foul. Now, I am even going against what I initially believe in terms of someone else in the family calling out somebody on my team. Like, we shouldn't have these battles between my football family and my real family, right? We ain't going to do that, and certainly not going to do that in public. That's my initial feeling. But in this one, it's a little bit different. You know why? I'm not going to let my wife go out there and call you out, Acho. This is my broadcasting family right here. I'm not going to let my wife do that to you. I'm not going to let my mama, I'm not going to let my sister, I'm not going to let my brother, I'm not going to let my cousin, nobody calling out Acho doing 11-minute reposting videos of you out there trying to make me look bad. Nobody. But when it's your daddy and it's your namesake, things change. Because if somebody did this to MJ, they going to get hell. If somebody tried to mess with MJ, they gonna get hell from Papa over here. And this is Odell Beckham Sr. who's realizing, y'all trying to mess with Odell Beckham Jr. and basically ruin Jerry Rice Part 2 right before our eyes. And y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it. It's Kevin Stefanski? Last time I checked, I ain't never seen Kevin Stefanski with the ball in his hand. So it is on Baker Mayfield, ultimately. Kevin Stefanski can call any play he wants. And Baker Mayfield has this options. My first read. My second read. My second read is Odell.
Don't lie to these people, Sal.
I will never lie to the people, dog. You have actually lied because you're trying to cover up for someone who's subpar, who's making others subpar. Is Jarvis Landry as good as he was in Miami? Comparable.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
Slight little tick down. But not as noticeable as ruining Jerry Rice 2.0. Odell Beckham was on a Hall of Fame NFL historical pace. Shook hands with Baker Mayfield, and then it's just been all that behind him.
That's not true.
No, the first year wasn't a trade, and then after that he had 1,000 yards. I see it right here.
Yes, sir.
And then what happens?
He gets hurt.
And then what happens?
This season.
And then, and the point is, you still don't get him the football. He's 151st in reception targets per game. Baker Mayfield, and that's all on the play calling? Come on, big dog. Every receiver I ever met said I'm open on every play. It's just up to the quarterback to get me the ball on time. Now, I know that's a little hyperbole, but I also know between that hyperbole and this reality, that's where Baker Mayfield is failing. Baker Mayfield needs to get the ball to the most explosive guy they got. If he doesn't, that's why we got Baker Mayfield looking subpar.
Here is why I can't let you off with this one. I don't let you off with a lot. I can't let you off. Odell Beckham joins the Cleveland Browns. And his first season there, he has 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
His last season in New York, he had 1,000 yards. Yeah. So Odell joins Cleveland with Baker as his quarterback, and he goes for 1,000. He was one of 14 players in the NFL with 1,000 yards and 14 yards per reception. So Odell was still solid. He was still not the same Odell, but he was still a 1,000-yard receiver with Baker Mayfield and Kevin Stefanski. In 2020, the next year, what changes? Kevin Stefanski shows up, Baker Mayfield gets hurt. In 2021, our present year, what has now changed? Baker is now healthy. Odell is healthy. Baker is present. Stefanski is there. What's the variable? The variable is Kevin Stefanski. Baker and Odell played together before, Sal, and Odell had 1,000 yards. Head coach was Kitchens. Now Baker and Odell are playing together once again.
Yeah.
And Odell does not have 1,000 yards.
And there's one more
what
variable.
Change?
Regression by the quarterback. Like, I don't understand why you don't factor
But
it
even
in.
last year, before Baker regressed, but last year when Baker was in a climactic year.
For him, and it's still subpar.
But Odell still wasn't balling then.
Yeah, and that was the injury year as well. Sir, here's the thing.
You had 7 games.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They don't have chemistry, so what they need is consistency. They don't have chemistry and consistency. So now we just need some lightning in a bottle talent. Oh, I'm not playing with that type of quarterback. We're not driving this bus through the driver of Baker Mayfield. It's through our running game. Okay, so even when the running backs got hurt, force me the ball. I still didn't see that. Now, you can say it's Kevin Stefanski. Now we're getting into a semantic conversation. What a play call.
Oh, that's not semantics.
Is Baker Mayfield above average playing this year? No.
No.
Now, okay. Now, does Baker Mayfield have above average talent? You would assume yes. He was the #1 overall pick. But now we start to get into consistency. Is Baker Mayfield inconsistent? Yes. Is he regressing? Yes. Is he subpar in many stats and categories? Yes. Now, Odell Beckham can look at his resume and be like, dog, I was never this before I met you. And then when I was with you, I still had some of this. But now I ain't got none of this. I'll take some of the blame. Will you take some of the blame? And actually, I want you to take lion's share of the blame. Because not only are you ruining me, our tight ends are not getting the same production. These are names. Our Jarvis Landry's not getting the same production. Injury, I get it.
So then,
that's the common denominator.
The common denominator is who controls all that. If you want to, here's why play calling matters.
Okay.
I'm not going to get mad at the outside linebacker that goes from having 15 sacks to 5 sacks if a defensive coordinator comes in and tells the outside linebacker, hey, you're primarily a dropper now.
Yeah.
I've been in a position of calling plays. So I understand that you can't always debo the defensive coordinator who gives you the play call. Every now and then as a Mike backer, you can check. But you can't check every time you want to. So all I'm going to say is I'm not going to blame Baker Mayfield for not getting Odell the ball if the primary play call is 1, we're handing it off, and 2, I don't know Baker's reads. But you sure as heck can't skip read number 1, read number 2 to go to read number 3 just because read number 3 is Odell Beckham. The best shot for the Cleveland Browns is the open guy. This is not the days of Michael Jordan, where the best shot the Bulls can take is a shot Michael Jordan takes.
Oh, so he's hitting
the
open
Browns,
guy. He's hitting open guy.
I'm not even saying that he's hitting open guy, but I'm saying the best opportunity for success for the Browns is to throw it to the open guy.
No, dog, I love you too much to let you say that. Don't give me an example where you're saying the Mike linebacker no longer rushing, now he's dropping in coverage. That's not the same as this. No one ever tells Odell Beckham, I want you to just run block the whole damn game.
No, but they tell Baker
they
to
say
hand
run
the
the
ball
routes
off.
Right, they do. And this is why I know. I hate why people walk past the mirror so fast, but then they want to sit there in front of everybody and say, look at me. Baker, this team is top 10 everywhere except one place, where you are in control. They are 10th in total offense. Congrats. They are 1st in rushing. And then on defense, they're 3rd total defense. 3rd in rushing defense, 7th in pass defense, and 26th in passing offense. Man, that's on Baker, dog. He's the quarterback. You're saying it's on the play calling? Even with the worst play calling in the world, with Odell Beckham and their tight ends, they shouldn't be 26.
If they're 26th in passing offense, but they're 28th in pass attempts. So they actually are better in passing offense than they are in pass attempts. They don't even
trust
to pass.
No trust.
Fair.
So if the coach doesn't trust you, then not only is it because you're not good enough, but it's going to make those who depend on you not good enough as well.
If we had no sample size, I would rock with you.
What you mean?
But full screen once again,
we got another
please.
Let me see.
No, the same one.
Oh, all right, sorry.
Kevin Stefanski was the OC in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So Kevin Stefanski, we've seen him do this with Thielen. We've seen him do this with Diggs.
Yeah.
With Thielen and with
neither
Diggs.
one was Odell Beckham Jr., New York Giants.
Wait a second now.
No, became.
Stephon Diggs last year. I'm not looking at Stephon.
That's not that last year's full screen.
But I'm saying
that's not
Stephon Diggs had the same talent as Odell Beckham based on his numbers. Now I played against Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham went crazy to me. But Stephon Diggs has 1,600 yards in the National Football League now.
Yeah, but you're doing that. Now you're doing that after the fact of Stefanski and him in Buffalo.
I'm saying he had that talent.
No,
he had that talent.
You can look at Adam Thielen in that moment. You can look at Stephon Diggs in that moment and say, you know what? We're going to drop your production because you are not at the same ceiling in production as Odell Beckham. He wasn't then. That's your full screen.
But
That's not me.
ceiling is dependent upon how much talent do you have.
It's also dependent on what you have done.
He didn't hit his ceiling, but ceiling is
That's
also
my
like,
point.
how much talent do you
I don't
have?
want to argue this. If you're really on that side and you're trying to tell me that Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs add them up with Odell Beckham, New York Football Giants, and that's Odell playing with Eli, the ashes of Eli, the dead remains of Eli.
You don't think that Thielen plus Diggs were the same as Odell? I played against Odell.
No, before Stefanski.
Odell went crazy.
No. Before Stefanski. No.
That Thielen and Diggs aren't as good as Odell collectively?
Now they are. Now they have surpassed them.
Even before Stefanski, they combined for 2,000 yards.
We have not seen anything like Odell Beckham since early Randy Moss, Jerry Rice. Like, it was on that level. You saying Thielen and you saying...
Combined.
Take them apart. Combined then? No. Combined now? By far they got Odell Beckham because he played with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield ruining Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield ruining this passing game. Baker Mayfield is ruining Odell
The kicker
Beckham.
is Odell never had a 2,000-yard season. If you combine them, they had a 2,000-yard season.
That was hyperbole, but I'm just saying they weren't as talented at that time as Odell Beckham Jr.
No.
Yeah, right. And then all of a sudden I meet you, and all of a sudden I can't get the ball, and all of a sudden I can't do anything. Now I can't even look like a backup. Odell doesn't even have backup numbers.
But he did. Here's what it is for me. Baker Mayfield was there. Odell was there. Mm-hmm. Odell was still a 1,000-yard receiver. Yeah. Enter Kevin Stefanski. Odell was no longer.
So you're saying Kevin Stefanski made Baker regress and...
Yes, statistically, yes.
So it's all on Kevin Stefanski that why Baker Mayfield not playing well. In the contract year, you're going to blame your coach.
Statistically, it's on Kevin Stefanski. Because statistically, Baker Mayfield doesn't attempt as many passes, so he's not going to throw as many touchdowns.
But it should be easier for you. You got the best running game in the world. What else do you need if you're Baker? Your defense is third overall, and you got the best running game, and you going to make your receiver that's a star a bum? And what are you going to blame? You're going to say Kevin Stefanski ain't calling the right plays. When he calls them, run them. They're going to be easy. Play action in the Cleveland Browns offense should be the simplest throw in America. It's not with Baker Mayfield, and I don't know why. But I can't say it's Kevin Stefanski. I got to blame the regression of Baker Mayfield.
I'm going to say this much.
I know you are.
Kevin Stefanski is the reason that Odell doesn't get as many targets. We can all agree on that. That's not even opinion-based. That's literally empirical data shows Kevin Stefanski causes his number one receivers to lose.
But all number ones ain't the same. They ain't all created equal.
Sure, but eventually we have to have it. We have to have a conversation based upon something factual, not subjective.
No, because I'm a starting DN in 2001, and some other dudes are starting DN in 2001. He wasn't me, and then you fast forward a few years, I wasn't him.
So you're saying that regardless of what Kevin Stefanski does, Odell Beckham's number of targets should not have regressed. Because even still, if you want to say that Adam Thielen is not Odell Beckham and Stephon Diggs is not Odell Beckham, that's fair.
Right. You know that.
But even still, Odell's lack of targets, they decreased by less than Thielen's and by less than Diggs. Mm-hmm. So Kevin Stefanski is treating Odell Beckham better than he treated Thielen and better than he treated Diggs.
Okay, well, good. Thank you, Kevin Stefanski. Now we got a middleman we got to deal with. It's Baker Mayfield. And now Odell's stuck. Trade deadline just passed. Odell Beckham not traded. Lock yourself in the house, bro. Coming out to play with Baker, ain't had enough. Coming up, the Cowboys are rolling and have the second longest win streak in the NFL. Is it time to call America's team the best team in the NFC? Find out next on Speak for Yourself.
Mike McCarthy says Dak Prescott could return to action this week against the Broncos if practice goes smoothly. The Cowboys are rolling with a 6-game win streak, but currently only have the 5th best odds to win the NFC, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. So, Sal, are the Cowboys the best team in the NFC?
Oh, by far. By far. You know why? Because it's not just about their talent, which is top tier. No one is more talented than the Dallas Cowboys. But it's also about that immeasurable, whether we're going to call it coaching, whether we're going to say their mental toughness, whatever you want to say. A team goes on the road without their franchise quarterback, the same franchise quarterback that basically tanked their season last year because of injury, and they couldn't get right without him. Now they go on the road this year, and it's like nothing's changed. So I'm adding up the talent with the coaching, and I'm going to eliminate most teams. The only team that I'm going to see standing still is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady, and now a head coach who's won the Super Bowl in Bruce Arians. But don't forget the OG, Mike McCarthy. Say, oh, that's cool, Bruce. Let me see your ring. Nice. About 10 years later than mine. But, hey, respect to you and your team and your talent. But I look at the Dallas Cowboys, basically a healthy team outside, obviously, Dak Prescott being the guy that's hurt. We've seen a few injuries on defense, guys who are going to shore up and come back into the lineup. But if you add up the talent with the coaching and that immeasurable element, then you also look at what other team has a Dak Prescott with a Super Bowl winning head coach. There's only one other team that's standing. And right now, I just saw that team lose to a backup. Wait a minute. Did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just lose to a backup quarterback? Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys backup quarterback beats a starter. That's the differentiator for me. It's the Dallas Cowboys.
I do think the Cowboys have the most talent in the NFL. Before I get started, one, I'm tired of arguing. It's exhausting me. We're 55 minutes in, or 75 minutes in. I'm tired of arguing. Are you disqualifying teams that don't have coaches that have won Super Bowl?
No, you do, and I just wanted to throw that at you because I know you like to do that, and I did it first, and now you don't know what to say.
No, are you does any team that doesn't have a coach who won a Super Bowl, are they disqualified from being the best
look,
team?
if we splitting hairs, it kind of helps to have a tour guide that's actually done it before and been to the destination. But let me hear your take.
I think the Cowboys have the most talent when it comes to quarterback, receiver, backup quarterback. Because last year in the playoffs, out of the first 10 playoff games, backup quarterbacks played in 4. So it's a huge deal. Not a small deal. It's a huge deal that the Cowboys have the best backup quarterback, at least that we've seen thus far. At least he's playing the best in Cooper Rush. I think the Cowboys have the most talent. But I always struggle to say that the Cowboys are the best team because I'm not convinced that the Cowboys make their talent do the most when it matters most. This season, sure. We can say they're sitting at 6-1. Cowboys look great. But I think when it matters most is when I draw my concerns of, man, are the Cowboys going to get the most out of their talent? I don't subscribe to the belief that just because a coach has won a Super Bowl that he is better than a coach that has not. I personally don't subscribe to that belief. I know it sounds like you do. But again, in the sport that you and I love most, I look at U.S. men's track and field, the 100 meters this past year. I remember watching track and realizing, wait a second, we have 4 of the top 10 fastest men in the world. Trayvon Bamel, he ranked 1st. Ronnie Baker, he ranked 3rd. Fred Curley, he ranked 5th. Craven Gillespie, he ranked 8th. Those were 4 of the fastest 10 men in the world. So surely, if you put those 4 fastest men together on one team, a relay team, they'll probably win somehow, some way.
If you don't know track, you say that.
They didn't even get past the first round.
I know.
Because while those 4 men were 4 of the most talented, that talent didn't come together when it mattered most. It came together. It just ain't come together when it mattered most. So I look at the Dallas Cowboys as by far the most talented team, particularly offensively. But will that talent come together to do the most when it matters most? That's when I just still have a cause for pause. That's when I go with the Los Angeles Rams. That's when I go with the Tampa Bay Bucs. Rams are my favorite team because they have a defensive shutdown corner in Ramsey. You have the best interior pass rusher in Aaron Donald. You have the best pass rush in the league in Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald, plus Von Miller. You have a quarterback with incredible arm talent in Matthew Stafford who hasn't won a playoff game. But I remember that Jared Goff hadn't won a game, period, before Sean McVay showed up. And you took Jared Goff to a Super Bowl. So I'm not worried about Stafford not winning a playoff game.
Why not?
Because Jared Goff hadn't won a game, and he ended up in the Super Bowl. Rams are my favorite team, though the Cowboys have the best team.
I ain't going to argue off the Rams because then Sean McVay doesn't get disqualified because he doesn't have a Super Bowl championship. But Sean McVay is a tremendous coach. So, no, I don't disqualify him. I'm just saying, hey, when it's time to start picking, we got to respect credentials as well. You gave me a track analogy, track example. Don't you do that. You told him, all right, where that full screen at? Let's see the rest of it. Oh, at the bottom in fine print, they're going to say, oh, they didn't practice but twice in the 2 weeks. Oh, it doesn't say that. Twice in the 2 weeks before because it's the curse of the gift.
It's coaching.
It's yes. And look.
That's my parallel.
Yeah. I like your parallel. Now let's apply it to the Dallas Cowboys, why coaching is actually helping this team. This team coaching, they switch coaches. That's part of coaching. Like, hey, let's get this guy out here. Dan Quinn, come on, let's take over. Oh, we're looking better. Opportunistic. Guys are improving. Trayvon Diggs was good his first year. Damn, second year. Dak Prescott, you've always been good to great. Damn, Dak Prescott, you come back. All that's coaching, right? Kellen Moore, whatever you want to say, Mike McCarthy as well. More importantly, even when we don't have the most talent, we went into a game with our backup. And then did we just hold Justin Jefferson to 2 catches and 21 yards? Did Dalvin Cook get over 100 yards? Damn, coaching. Like, we aren't even at our best, and we still out here plowing. And the Dallas Cowboys have not had that clunker. Name the game that the Dallas Cowboys look, you're like, I don't know about that one. You can't count this week. It was a backup.
Chargers.
You can't go Chargers. I knew you were going to go Chargers. Come on. Welcome home to SoFi. The Chargers game was when the Dallas Cowboys said, let's shift gears. Dak, damn, you back. Not only are you back, we know how good you are. Hey, running game, let's be real. It's a long game we're playing. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. Can we run the football and do it well? I think they had 180-some yards, 184 yards rushing that game. They basically switched gears. Dak, we got you. We know you good. We know you're great. Zeke, come on. Pollard, come on. Let's go. Dallas Cowboys, even week 1 when they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Great performance, right? Just not the desired outcome. I look at your Rams and I just say, what happened against the Cardinals? God, dog, that was ugly. And a couple other games where you're like, you're struggling a little bit. Whatever. Maybe that was Detroit, I think. Point being, struggle, but they smoke them. You look at Tampa Bay. Did y'all just lose to the Saints backup? Yes, y'all did. Like everyone else, when we start doing this, you said no one has more talent than the Cowboys. Say what you want about coaching, but we got a Super Bowl winning head coach. And no bad performances all year except the one where we're shifting gears in the Chargers game. But if the Chargers game is the worst, it's still better than the Cardinals-Rams, and it's certainly better than the Saints-Bucs.
I like that argument. The problem is eventually we have to both use our eyes and our experience. Why do I say that? Alabama, University of Alabama, they have a terrible loss to Texas A&M this season. Got a really bad loss to Texas A&M. Meanwhile, Michigan State, they undefeated. Now, I could obviously come up here and make the argument that, well, Michigan State, no losses, let alone no bad loss. Michigan State should be better than Alabama. But the eyes and my experience still tell me that if those two teams were to meet, I like Alabama. Somebody could come in with empirical data and easily say, nah, Acho, you tripping. Wake Forest is undefeated. Put them ahead of Bama. You can say,
Wake Forest still undefeated.
They still undefeated somehow, some way. Acho, you tripping, man. Michigan State, they undefeated. Put them ahead of Bama. Oklahoma, they undefeated. Put them ahead of Bama.
What?
Cincinnati, they undefeated. Put them ahead of Bama. But eventually, I have to relent to, okay, I understand some teams by record may be better, or some teams by they haven't had a bad loss. But as I look at it, I still like those Rams, man, more than I like the boys. And yes, the Bucs lost to the Saints. But if push came to shove, if the Bucs play the Cowboys with Tom Brady, with Bruce Arians,
don't want to see that.
with Mike Evans, with Gronk, with AB, with Chris
They all
Godwin,
playing?
assuming those guys are healthy.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, it's Dak playing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm just want to assume health for everybody. That's when I'm like,
oh, really?
It might be a coin flip, but it's a two-sided coin, and they both got heads, and heads is the Bucs or the Rams.
Okay. Well, my eyes not only looks at talent and how I can imagine how a game would go, but it also looks at what have you done? And it's not just opponents, but it's like performance. How have you done? There's one team that's ranked number 1 offensively, and there's one team that's 5th ranked. I like the number 1 ranked one. That's me. There's one team that's 2nd in rushing, and one is 19th. I like 2nd. I don't know. I like the one that's 3rd in passing. Damn, top 3 and everything. And not 4th. A little better. 19th in defense versus 21st. But one of them, 6th ranked against the run. Other one, 11th. Little another. And one has Trayvon Diggs and one has Jalen Ramsey. Who's playing better this year? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm out of that. Oh, look at your face. I love when you lean back because that means I'm trying to get some ammo because this boy done hit me. Yes, that's right. Point. I ain't going to do nothing. I'll leave that alone. I still got 5 other categories. The Dallas Cowboys look better without a bad performance this year. You add all that up, man, that's when you start to have the separation. But I would look forward to them playing.
It's going to be a game.
It's going to be
a game.
A game. Coming up, we'll tell you if the Saints are a real threat to Tom Brady and the Bucs. Really? That's next. Don't speak for yourself.
Now, the Saints have won 3 straight games and are coming off an upset win over the Bucs. Jameis Winston unfortunately tore his ACL early in the second quarter. He's out the rest of the season. But despite losing Jameis, Sean Payton is still confident in the quarterback room and said he will not bring in another quarterback. Sorry, Cam Newton. The Saints are currently the 6th seed in the NFC. Sel, you think these Saints are a legit threat to the Bucs in the NFC South?
No. Every now and then we get the rundown. We see the questions. I know I have input on it, but man, what's this doing on here? The Saints? y'all running with that last year? Drew Brees beat them twice, and then you beat them with a backup. Man, stop. If they saw it when it mattered most, the Bucs are going to slam the New Orleans Saints. I don't know what they're going to do at the quarterback position. Obviously, Taysom Hill going to be the long play, healthy. Trevor Siemian, admirable. You got the victory. I don't think you're the long play here. But we know going against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, that's not going to be it. The Saints this year, losses to the Panthers. Depends on what Panther team you see. The Giants. But this is not a team that's going to really make some noise in that division anymore. I don't think they're going to be deflated. I think the defense and the tandem at the running game, at the running back position is going to be something for them. But I just don't see them doing it because of the quarterback position. If you have a quarterback, you have a chance. You don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. So legit threat? No. Nuisance? Yeah. Gnat, mosquito? Of course. But real threat? Nah.
I think there'll be a threat in the South, Sal. I don't know what kind of threat there'll be in the playoffs. I think the Saints are the most underrated team in football.
Really?
The reason I say so, bro, it's only 6 teams in the NFC, 5 wins or more. We already talked about the big dogs. We talked about the Cowboys. We talked about the Bucs. Talked about the Rams. Talked about the Cardinals. Talked about the Packers. Then you look around and you're like, wait a second. Saints, y'all the next best team out of all that? Mm-hmm. That's not a bad place to be.
No.
Furthermore, 5-2. If you would have asked me without thinking about it, hey, what's the Saints record? I brought them like, yeah, 4-4. You know, they won some, they done
like
lost
the
some.
Chiefs.
But 5-2, I'm like, wait a second now. Furthermore, backup quarterback. Oh, that's not good. Except Sean Payton was 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater. He was 3-1 with Taysom Hill. So I'm like, wait a second. Sean Payton, you can make noise with a backup quarterback. Saints have the Falcons, Titans without Derrick Henry, and the Eagles the next 3 games. Saints should look up in 3 weeks and be 8-2. 8-2 is going to be competitive regardless of what Tampa has coming up. As long as the Saints handle their business, you look up, you 8-2, you're going to be all right. But lastly, Sean Payton's been waiting for this moment, you would have to believe. The longest tenured quarterback-coach relationship, same organization, Ben Roethlisberger, Mike Tomlin, Pete Carroll, Seahawks, Russell Wilson, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and then if you look at there, Sean Payton, Taysom Hill. Like, mind-blowing. Coach, quarterback, same organization. Taysom Hill and Sean Payton are the 4th or tied with the 3rd longest tenured quarterback-coach relationship. Sean Payton has been grooming Taysom Hill for a moment like this, or he's retained Taysom Hill at minimum for a moment like this if he ain't been grooming him for it. So obviously the Bucs are nice. Obviously the Bucs are great. But when it comes down to who is going to be competitive in the NFC South, that specific division, if the Saints win next week, they're leading the South.
Yeah.
Both 6-2, got the head-to-head. I believe the Bucs are on a bye. So as soon as the Saints either win next week or catch up to that Bucs bye, they're winning the NFC South, big dog. Whether that's competitive in jargon, it's competitive in fact.
I'm looking up Taysom Hill's stats, and it's so funny.
Don't look too hard. Don't look too hard.
I must got a computer glitch because
you're doing too much.
Like even Pro Football Reference, like, nah, let's go to rushing and receiving first. You're like, hey man, he a quarterback. They're like, nah, you got to scroll to go find that because we don't want to embarrass Taysom Hill. And he's been getting groomed. I know he's been making money. Good for you, Taysom Hill. He's making $16, $17 million for this moment. We'll see if he shows up. I don't root him any ill in this moment. The problem is, how did you get to school in the morning? Like, did your mom and dad?
Pops dropped me off.
They was just alternate. You ever take the bus, the Cheeto?
When I was in public school.
You did? So you did take the school bus. School bus or rapid transit?
School bus.
School bus. Okay, spoiled. Okay, let's go. All right, I did them all. I did RTD, rapid transit. Like, hey, who this dude? I don't know this dude. All right, then I did the school bus. Man, she cute. Okay. And, I did that, and mama and daddy took me as well. I got you. You ever get on that bus and then they be like, shh. You be like, we ain't there yet. Why you hear that shh? And then the driver be like, he start grabbing his belongings and he got to go. His shift over. You be sitting there like, man, I want to walk. I got to get off this bus.
That happened in college. But that be the work, bro. You be rushing to class, rushing. And you mess around and you take campus buses.
Yeah.
And the bus driver get off.
He got to get his comb out. He's like,
I got class, coach. And you just end up sitting there.
Just sitting there.
And you like,
he put on cologne.
I can't drive.
Yeah, not this. I can't drive this. And then he get off and then somebody else come on. They got to set up.
Bro, that took me back. Go ahead.
Everything. I'm like, hey, bro. Jameis Winston just got off the bus. And now here comes Taysom. And Taysom like, what's this? Oh, I got to throw the ball. I got to steer this. Man, I don't know, dog. We're going to be here for a minute. Maybe at the same record, the same time, the same level. I don't think they're a legit threat. I think if Carolina's is like hit or miss, Jekyll and Hyde this year, but the defense is still strong. So I think you get C-Mac back. I would say that this is going to finish out Tampa Bay 1, Carolina 2, and because of the absence of Jameis Winston, this team number 3.
I think, Sal, we got to remember that sometimes in ball, unforeseen things spark a team to get better.
Facts.
I remember the Eagles were 5-6 with Carson Wentz, 2018 after that MVP year. Throw in Nick Foles. Not Nick Foles again. Throw in Nick Foles, end up 5-7. Go to the playoffs, play against the Saints. If Alshon Jeffrey catches that ball, all of a sudden you're in the second playoff game. But he doesn't. Eagles get eliminated. Carson Wentz MVP season. Nick Foles, spurs him on to the Super Bowl. Eagles last year, you gonna put in Jalen Hurts? All of a sudden, Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles to a victory over the Saints team. Sometimes it's that spark plug, the backup quarterback. Obviously, you're better off with your starter, but Minnesota Miracle keeps Saints from winning a playoff game.
Okay.
The Phantom foul call against the Rams keeps Saints again from winning a playoff game. Drew Brees has his worst career game of his life. Keep Saints from winning a playoff game. I'm not going to sit here and say that this might be the Saints' year. Cam Jordan, friend of yours, friend of the show.
That dog.
You know he a beast. DeMario Davis, probably the most underrated middle linebacker in the game. Malcolm Jenkins, 2-time Super Bowl champion. I like him on defense. Marshawn Lattimore, we love him on defense. Alvin Kamara is a dog. Sean Payton, still probably one of the most underrated coaches in the game, given how good he's been for how long he's been there. The Saints have enough pieces. If you give them a little bit of a spark, it might light the whole team ablaze. And next thing you know, we looking up, they making noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, the problem is, once again, I'm trying to do a real deep dive on Taysom Hill, and for some reason, just those passing stats don't want to pop up. And that's the problem. They're 29th ranked right now in terms of their total offense. And that was with Jameis. I mean, look, Jameis had a 5-touchdown game thrown for 140 yards. Like, it's just some randomness in terms of their offense. But now you're going to put in the backup, and you're already at the bottom of the league in terms of offensive production with an offensive genius in Sean Payton. He better be a genius, because now he got somebody that get right when he's behind the wheel, because I don't know if he's so comfortable. Good luck to you, Taysom. Coming up, Baker Mayfield and the Browns had a tough Sunday. Tough. We're revealing our winners and losers for Week 8. That's next on Speak For You. Welcome back to Speak For Yourself. It's time for our Week 8 winners and losers. With that, set it off. But a quick reminder, we're not saying anyone, here's Acho, or anything is an actual loser, but for 1 week only, they certainly look that way. All right, Acho, we're done with the disclaimers. Give us your losers from Week 8.
Man, the third biggest loser. How about those Bengals? Big dog. Bengals were balling for a second.
And then what happened?
But then the Jets done got them up out of there. The New York Jets knocked off the Bengals. Now, in the Bengals' defense, the Jets knocked off the current 1 seed. That's the Titans. And the former 1 seed, that was the Bengals. Okay. Those are the Jets' 2 wins on the season. But Bengals, how you going to get to the 1 seed and get out the 1 seed as fast as you got there? They my third biggest loser.
Because they the Cincinnati Bengals.
My second biggest loser. It's not Miller time. Broncos fans, y'all my second biggest loser.
Ooh, why you do that?
Because Von Miller, 110 sacks. He's one of the top 3 players in Broncos history. And he not 3. He a beast. And y'all just got him up out of there. At least you had Von Miller to look forward to. All his dancing, his sack dancing, his fun, etc., his legacy. But Broncos, y'all have the 3rd longest drought of making the playoffs in the NFL. That ain't no good.
That ain't good.
But my number 1 biggest loser, Kirk Cousins. Don't like that. Man, you 8-31. First playoff teams in your history. You 0-4 this season. First teams with winning records. Kirk Cousins, you there on a primetime stage. Me and Sal hyping you up. 13 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. You want 5 quarterbacks with those kind of numbers. Then you go out there and let Cooper Rush outperform you. All bad, man. My number 1 loser, big dog.
You got to say it like Kirk Cousins would. Don't like that. I love that. All right, let's get to the real losers right here. Number 3, you know if I'm talking about losers, I don't mean this personally, but I got to go number 3, half-baked. Oh, that Cleveland Brown team. My God, what is going on? You look at the Cleveland Browns, and y'all lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and y'all see that score? 15-10. Like, what? You lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers. You get outplayed by old Ben, like not Uncle Ben, old Ben Roethlisberger in a contract year, and don't put up points. Your backup put up 17. 3 of the last 4 weeks, 14 or fewer for you, Baker Mayfield and these Browns. Oh, you're my number 3 loser. But my number 2, we need to prep before the show now. It's the Bengals.
That's fair.
And that's fair. I got a little better one over there, catchphrase. Bungled opportunity. I don't know how bungled opportunity. Like you said, they just got into that pole position. Oh, this feels comfortable. It's like, get your ass out of there. Y'all gave away a game, your third loss by 3 points. How y'all gonna lose to the Jets? And then more importantly, not even to the Jets with their starting quarterback. Come on, Cincinnati. Soon we start believing in you, you start underachieving. But my number one loser, big win, but bigger loss. King Henry. Sideline right now. Tennessee Titans. What they gonna do? Adrian Peterson? AP be balling still at this age, but for real. But he my age. I don't know about AP tilting the rock too long. King Henry come back. AP hold it down. We'll see. But whoa, big win, but a bigger loss. All right, let's get to our week number 8.
I need my rock first, though, sir.
You need your rock?
I need my rock for these winners.
If Baker can't get Odell the ball, how he get you the
Because I be getting open. I don't drop.
Let's get to our week 8 winners. Let's be nice.
Winners. Number 3 winner for me is very simple. Aaron Rodgers. My dog on a short week. He went out there to Glendale, Arizona, played those Arizona Cardinals, who were undefeated at the time.
And then what?
Rodgers, without 3 of his 4 best receivers, without a starting left tackle, without the best pass rusher, without his top 2 corners, without his defensive coordinator, without a starting center, still went out there and got himself a W. And he ain't even after.
You did that off the dome, too, huh?
That's my 3rd biggest winner. My 2nd biggest winner.
What's that?
Nick Sirianni. He lucked up, played the Detroit Lions, won a game 44-6, bought himself another week. His seat was hot. I think his seat still is hot. But Nick Sirianni and a little aside, Jalen Hurts. There's no better recipe to cool off a hot seat than playing the Detroit Lions. Shout out to you, Sirianni. Big winner on the week. Number 1 biggest winner.
You got
the backup quarterbacks.
all of them. Look at them.
All of them.
Back to back.
Trevor Siemian, he goes out there, he beats the Bucs. Geno Smith, he goes out there, he beats the Jags. My dog, Mike White, he goes out there, dominates.
Damn.
My dog, Cooper Rush, goes out there and beats the Vikings, outperforms Kirk Cousins. And again, a quick bonus one, Case Keenum, because Baker Mayfield didn't do so good, so just by attrition, by subtraction, you had a little addition.
Attrition by subtraction.
With that being said, backup quarterbacks, number 1 biggest winner.
Okay, not bad right there. Let's go to my number 3 right here. My number 3 winner is Rush Hour. Cooper Rush right there. Woo, they kept it going. Kirk Cousins. Did you just watch Cooper Rush, a backup, have a better passer rating than you and also go out there and have more passing touchdowns than you? Yeah, you did, Kirk Cousins. Oh, man, I know you don't like that. All right, number 2 winner, beat the champs, the New Orleans Saints. How you say New Orleans? New Orleans? You doing Orleans? You doing Orleans? All right. Let's see. Beat the champs right there, Saints. What a backup quarterback. Respect to you. But now, the going's going to get tough. Taysom Hill in the lineup, it's Trevor Siemian, whatever it is, going to be a climb to keep pace with those Tampa Bay Bucs. But my number 1 winner, I like this one. It's my man, how they drew it up. That's right. How they drew it up on the whiteboard. Whiteboard. That's right, Mike White. Mike White said, y'all like Zach Wilson? I don't. Oh, man, they got QB controversy.
You think Wilson gets his job back this year?
Yeah.
Should he?
ROI, return on investment. We got to squeeze this out. You know, you don't throw, in my household, we don't throw away the toothpaste when it's just here and you can't see it. You better squeeze that thing and then roll it and get it. We're going to do that to Zach Wilson this year. But right now, in the back of our mind, you know what we're thinking? Ooh, might have something.
Hear what I'm thinking.
On the mic board.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, you ready? He's ready. That'll do it for our Week 8 winners and losers. Hit that thing again. We're still on screen. Congrats to all you winners out there. 3 and better luck.
I'm swaggy with it today.
Coming up. Ooh, look at this fire you got going up. The AFC is a close race this season. We'll tell you which team has the best chance to win it next on For Yourself. Baby. That thing's spinning. Back to the NFL and the AFC. Wide open after a rough weekend for some of the conference's best teams. Joe Burrow's Bengals were knocked off their top spot by the Jets. And my Chargers lost at home to the Patriots. Yep. Titans had a big win over the Colts, but lost Derrick Henry for the season. So, Acho, which AFC team are you most sure about?
Man, I'm certain of my uncertainty.
You're certain of your uncertainty.
Certain of my uncertainty. But my uncertainty has led me to the Ravens. If I got to be sure about one team, I'm going to be sure about the Ravens because at least I'm sure about their quarterback. He's going to give you as much as he can as long as he can. I'm sure about Calais Campbell, their interior defensive lineman. He's going to give you as much as he can as long as he can. And I'm sure about their head coach in Harbaugh. He's going to give you as much as he can for as long as he can. But in addition to just my hope, in addition to my wishful thinking, the Ravens now are actually 9th in passing offense.
There you go.
We know they always tops in rushing offense, but this year they found a way to be 3rd in rushing offense and 9th in passing offense. I would rather 3rd and 9th than 1st and 31st or 1st and 32nd.
Oh,
so when I look at the Ravens, they can run the ball as always. This year, once again, they can this year for the first time, they can pass the ball more efficiently. But beyond all that, if I got to count on one player to make a play, give me Lamar Jackson to make a play. And I love how, remember, Harbaugh, when push comes to shove, he also trusts his quarterback to be able to make a play. Harbaugh, 4th and 1. Lamar, you want to go for it? Yeah, let's go for it. They do so. They get it. They win the game. Give me the Ravens.
Okay. You picked one that I can't beat up on because you know I love the Ravens. I only root for 5 teams. 4 of them I play for, so I'm rooting for the money they already gave me. And the last one are those Baltimore Ravens. I don't know about them Ravens. They do something to me, man. Soft spot. But let's be real. The best team I'm most sure about in the AFC, it's the team I play for, the one that took the chance on me, the one that knew I was going to be special. Those
the Cowboys?
Buffalo. They knew I was going to be special. About 2 days into practice, they was a goddamn how we get this money back. Y'all got any money orders? Buffalo Bills, man. I got drafted to the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills right now, let me give you a sentence to just shut up this argument, and then we can have some fun, okay? Bills are first in turnover margin. Coach always says, I don't need to watch the game. You show me one stat and one stat only, and I know who won that game. What is it? Turnover margin. Okay, first in that. But how about how many big jokers in the deck? 2?
One big joker.
One big joker? Well, how about 3? They first in turnover margin, first in points per game, and first in points per game allowed. You ain't messing with these Buffalo Bills. But let me just have a little fun with you because a lot of times I'm a mentor in this community. You know, everywhere I go is my community, this neighborhood, this world. And kids come up to me all the time. Marcellus, I got this choice. I got this choice. I want to go to this school. I want to do this. And you know what I always tell them? Go grab your U.S. News and World Report and see what the academic ranking is. And then let's just watch Fox on the weekend and let's see what their FBS ranking is, whatever it may be, right? And we're going to add those 2 up, and the lowest number wins. And that's what school we're going to. And they look at me like, boy, that's a dumb formula, but it worked for me. Here's the thing. Baltimore Ravens, 3rd offensively, 25th defensively. That's a 28. Buffalo Bills, 6th offensively, 1 defensively. By my math, that is number 7 versus 28. Where should you go, Acho, in your pick? You should go to the AFC team with the lowest number, the Buffalo Bills. You like that?
No, because Columbia and Texas both let us here.
Different times. Coming up, the Jesus game last night. But you were all late. But you came here early. It's weird. But the turnovers continue. We'll see what Patrick Mahomes had to say. That's next on Speak for Yourself.
The Astros came back from a 4-run deficit to force a Game 6. And now, head back to Houston looking to extend the series again. While the Braves just need one more win to clinch the title. Game 6 of the World Series is tonight, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. What you doing, Marcelo?
Hello. Hi. I was waiting on some baseball stuff. You know, I got to get prepared for that baseball talk. Bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th.
On this show, it's time to keep it 100. Y'all know what time it is. Others be lying. We don't be lying. Each day, we're going to get to the bottom of who telling the truth. Case in point is in there somewhere. Chiefs escaped with the win over the Giants. The quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, and the offense, they continue to struggle after the win. Mahomes spoke about the trust he still has in his teammates. Take a listen.
Like I said to Trev and all these guys, I'm gonna keep coming right back to you. I'm gonna throw it to you, let you make a play. I have that trust in you, and I think as the season goes on, hopefully we can correct the turnovers, and I think we can still be a special offense.
So, Sale, is Patrick Mahomes keeping it 100 or 99?
He keeping it 100. Wishful thinking. It's not going to be the reality, but that's what you got to think. That's what you got to do. So that's the formula. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll have one more growth spurt and be in the NBA again.
Did you say NBA again?
Yeah.
When were you ever in the NBA?
You don't remember? Remember I told you that pregame and stuff? I told you that. I went on the court. I missed the air ball. And
he keeping it 100. What you keeping it? Talking about you going to be in the NBA again.
Hey, it was one game. 9. Okay, you can't let it slide. I came in the game.
I just said on this show we keep it 100. And you keeping it 9.5.
Damn. It's theater. I can't lie to nobody.
Lying, mother sucker.
That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow again.